both playing with an element of the free roll that the desk was talking about with Liquid. It constantly feels like that when you're watching XERXIA. They just play loose and carefree, and they are so confident. They're so confident.
Some say whimsical. And here we go. We're going to get into the pistol round straight away. Nice little fault line just to push away Scream, trying to control up that B main area. Getting a bit of ground early, but the rest of Liquid for now just kind of hovering around that A main area.
And just to talk a little bit about the compositions while this round looks a tad slow, Liquid have played this before. They played it at the beginning of their group stage. It's a pretty classic comp, except the Astra is a bit weird now after the nerfs.
Right, yeah.
But they are playing slowly. XERXIA is a team that enjoys incorporating these little trap plays in. It was in mid, but Fox still finds the first pick.
And this looks like they were more than ready for any sort of pop plays that were coming out of that choke point. Fox needs a bit of assistance. He's currently playing, and there it is. The support from Scary from the back, the crossfire enabled. And what a start for XERXIA here against Team Liquid. And Josh, you know, we were speaking just before this cast, talking about the kind of themes coming into this match as well. 2021, definitely the year, I think, of the minor region teams kind of showcasing that they really can go toe-to-toe with the top dogs.
Yeah.
It looks like they're just trying to carry that momentum all the way through. Can you imagine XERXIA in this qualification match to get to the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, both of these teams getting to playoffs, or either of them, would be a fantastic achievement, but XERXIA certainly seem like the team with the most momentum behind them right now. And yet both of these teams had those opponents they knew they could beat in the first round. And this is a very different challenge for both XERXIA and Liquid, being able to beat the other when they don't know how they play. Yeah. Here comes Liquid with a bit of B main control, using the Aftershock. And there goes the turret. That denies a bit of information, but Surf is gathering it back in mid. Spots Nevera. That means that they're not worried about the A ramp lurk, and it allows Scary to push.
Look at this. Supported for now. Cruz setting up with the stun. Just the flash, actually, for now, Fox, okay. Put the util away for now, young man. You got a game to play. And he does have the crossfire set up. No worries here. Although, Liquid, I think, proved that they are such a dangerous team when they've got the Sheriffs in hand. I think they won all of their rounds that they won on a Sentinel with Sheriffs, Josh. I don't know.
They did win a ton of thrifty rounds. It was chaotic. It really was. Both of these teams able to take those 2-0 wins over their opponent. XERXIA, they did look dangerous in terms of set plays and stuff, so I'm gonna be thrilled watching them on these kind of rounds. The thrifty opportunity, seeing what they've got cooked up. This was just Surf farming, but this third round is the one where you need to craft a cool strategy, something to take your opponents off guard. So just having a look at what the defensive setup looks like right now. They've got Omen looking towards B main, gonna put up a smoke in the middle of there. Stop Liquid from taking that early control, but it doesn't look like there's anything crazy going on right now. There is a turret taking contact on A ramp, but no one really contesting there from Liquid.
It's a map that we were talking about the compositions earlier, but it is switch-ups. For Liquid, they're playing, obviously, that old comp that they played at the beginning of VCT this year.
And XERXIA are playing their Haven comp.
Yeah, so they've kind of switched it up massively.
Yeah. It's really not that different, though, to what they normally play on Split. Here comes Liquid up through mid, Surf. He was so confident taking these re-challenges, swinging, destroying the Optic players.
Spectre and Hando, bit of a gun diff, sets up the one-way, and they've got this paranoia as well.
They've always got a setup. That's what's so good about XERXIA. It doesn't matter where you push them. They're not a thoroughly rigid team, but they're fluid enough to be able to transfer from one setup into the next. So if Surf was going to take a bit of pressure there, Scary would have had his back with the paranoia. But now Liquid just freezing the round, cooling stuff down, and they have ropes control. At what point does XERXIA look for information somewhere else? They've got Fox rotating back away from A Heaven as Liquid take B main.
And time is running really low here. We've got 25 seconds left, and it looks like it's going to be the B split, but is the setup ready for it? Paranoia in handy. Here's the Sage Wall come through.
Hello?
That was a bit skew whiff, but he wants to run in front of it instead. Maybe intentional there, but Scream gets taken down quickly. Surf run around the corner. You got to be kidding me. All right, quick little kills going their way, and Fox is going to be cleared up as well, just waiting at the bottom. Cruz, Bucky in hand, you got to be joking! Running through it, the nade forces him into the line of sight, but Sushi Boys does have the Spectre. Tap tries to fake the footsteps, not enough though. Liquid, they walk away with a round, but it was an expensive one.
It was expensive, but it's those two players that really stepped up for Liquid that do it again here in round 3. Yampi played fantastically on Fracture yesterday when they took down Crew. And then Link was just playing some solid gameplay the entire time. And he's one of the players that really steps up for LAN for Liquid, I think. Always outperforms his online performances and looks nasty doing it. But yeah, XERXIA had some good setups there. We saw a TikTok wall from Scream as well. We'll see whether more of those rear their head. Surf's going to take a peek with the operator. He loves pulling this out.
I love this as well. Team Liquid, the kind of a team that might want to take that ego duel. You can see Scream is really just playing with fire there.
But he knows he has that opportunity. Now that Surf's off the angle, he goes and takes B main control. That level of aggression to push Surf off the angle and take all the space immediately. I really felt like that was missing from Optic's game
The confidence.
yesterday. The confidence to just... There's a small window of opportunity there where Surf takes a shot and has to, you know, reset. And Scream's taking all of that space for free.
And now a bit of time as we're waiting it out. You can see the spikes just drop there and mark it as well. So Liquid obviously leaning towards the B area, and with Scream just being able to hold on to that B main control that we were talking about, vitally important. Spike gets picked up, yeah, by Yampy, and he's kind of rotating around, probably trying to set up the perfect lineup here for the fault line to set up the combo.
That's what I'm thinking. There goes the flash. It is perfect. Catches Surf utterly. Paranoia to stop the people in B Heaven from getting in there. And Scream, he's boosted himself up again. Takes down Cruz.
The utility is so good right now, but still Surf left standing. Quick little flash around the corner. Not enough to try and get any sort of damage done.
30 seconds left.
Surf was the last man standing there on that site. Just up to Sushi Boys to try and lurk around, see if he can get any sort of damage done. But
Spike planted.
only a 1v4 for him. It's been light work in the past for Sushi Boys. He's a bit of a Lanimal, at least he showcased it at Champions.
He is, he is. He was playing with Jet for them last time he was here as well on some of the maps. But this seems like a pretty unwinnable situation. No idea that Link is there. And it's going to be 2-2. Liquid playing a great game so far, actually. Responding well after the pistol round loss. I really like the utility that Yampy threw out on Breach. Yampy's agent pool appears to be whatever, coach.
Yeah, whatever you want me to play, man.
Sliggy, yeah, I'll do whatever you like. And he's able to find crucial kills for them, but also has really stepped up in terms of, I mean, obviously the guy is doing most of their IGLing too. He's got such a pivotal place on this team. And Scream's comm there for him to pick up the spike, move towards B main and hit the flash onto Surf. Exactly what you need to stop Surf from getting value. And that's such a big economical investment. Now they're reset. He, of course, though, still has those jet knives after having large performances on the pistol in round 2. So there's still some damage that could be done.
Yeah, it looks like they're just poking and prodding, looking for a bit of the setups. They spotted a bit of it out. That's a deep dog. And they can drag it in. It gets yoinked backwards. And while all that was going on, it looks like there was an attempt at a bit of B main aggression, but Yampy shuts it down with the operator in hand.
And Yampy's perfectly happy taking the op. Obviously, opping Breach is not normal. Nevera has got so much info in this round. He saw them with the cam, he saw them with the peek.
Now the wall comes up here. Spike dropped off to the side as well. Looks like they just want to try and commit into this one here. No players with the crossfires from XERXIA. That's an aftershock to push away the plant. 45 seconds remaining. Drop down from Sushi Boys, but not great weaponry in hand. And with Surf dealt with, the Blade Storm out of the picture. One of the big tools they were hoping for, I think, to try and win out on this light by round. What a shot from Scream. You can tell he's feeling himself.
That's what you need, the confidence to be flowing.
Yeah.
It's absolutely imperative when you play against a team like XERXIA who aren't afraid to take those duels against you. You've got to step up. You've got to be willing to put your round on the line and meet them head-to-head. And like I said, Yampy is just so comfortable attack-opping. It's a weird thing to have in your toolkit as a Breach player on Split to be going for the attack-op. But he really is just very comfortable doing it. And with Liquid's pace, with this composition at least, that's going to be a little slower, I think he's probably going to find pretty decent value. Here he's going up against Surf, and they've immediately found that information again on where he's playing.
Yeah, and I love this discipline from Liquid as well. Always making sure that they spot out where that operator player might be playing. Surf's such a danger for them, but this re-swing Cruz, surely he's not going to hunt for the kill here, but he is. He's pushing up right with Surf, watching the cross for him.
And they're using the flashes to post Surf up on the angles and challenge and push away Yampy.
Is Link not going to expect this, is he?
He surely does.
Jiggle peeking for it, but a little bit too wide. Surf. Beautiful pick-off for them.
This looks like a Breach ult fake here, Brent. We've got Yampy with his Rolling Thunder here in B main, and the spike is making its way towards A ramp. The Liquid have what it takes to be able to go for a gamble like this. This is such a massive ult to invest when
moving
you're
it back
down
now.
a player.
Yeah, the spike was leaning towards A, but they've decided, actually. We've got a bit of time to work with, so they have to res as well.
Yeah, they move back
in.
I think that's a good decision here. But now that you've got the res, it makes a lot of sense to try and invest the next ultimate too. Liquid were phenomenal in terms of getting value out of their ults yesterday.
The res online as well. Paranoia to try and disrupt this, but it's all a fake showstopper in hand. Sokas, if he gets 1 kill, that's going to be valuable for them. And look at this, all the way through the Seekers though.
They give them
false
bad
information.
info.
Yeah, it's actually moving into market and on towards B, so they don't even suspect that this is the fake coming through. Liquid, they get the site for free.
Look at that treacherous Seeker in spawn. What's he doing? Giving them the terrible
They've actually
info.
just been hard trolled. They have been hard trolled by that one.
They really have. That's so unfortunate from Fox, and now Scream's in position.
Lovely little play there still. Surf ends up making it happen. Fox needs to create some magic here now on the flank in the extremity, but he is being sandwiched. Sogas from the back of the spawn just tries to dodge the timing here, the boombot. Need to cross it up. What's the play here? Do they still want to commit into this one? Fox is in so much danger, but on the ropes. Who are we watching here? Flick around the side. He's definitely looking for it now. Has to try and get it done. And while all this is happening, the defusal. Such just inside of his own smoke. He pops it down again. I'm not sure if he got half in the way, but with the ticker. Oh, way too much time burnt off the clock. Link in prime position to try and save it, but again, not enough time for them. So Liquid clutching out a round. Very expensive, very close though, right down to the wire.
And they're 4-2 up on the attack, Brent. All of these rounds since the pistol and the follow-up have been pretty gorgeous from Liquid. That was a 4v5 round. And Brent, that is such a great round from them. Not only do they mitigate the player disadvantage, but they end up using a huge amount of ultimates, setting up a really elaborate fake. That is gorgeous gameplay. And something that I was not really seeing from Liquid in their online games.
No.
They were really struggling with that.
Now that it seems like they've settled, you know, the back to the basics with the compositions, having a bit more success with it. Pull through the choke point actually does disrupt that setup as well, because the KJ turret was just pulled right into line of sight of it. Still, XERXIA on that half by round, looking to do some damage once more, maybe get a bit of weaponry under their way. Are they set up for a pop flash in mid here with Fox? It seems like maybe.
I don't think so.
No,
I'm not sure they actually have a good setup here, XERXIA. This is much more of a on-the-fly looking round.
Yeah.
Not choosing to dig into the playbook for such a low buy. Just setting up another one of those one-ways over by A ramp. That could end up being pretty useful here, actually.
Well,
they break the trip, but there's no chance that Liquid think that's really a push. And Scary still has another smoke here that can go as a one-way.
I think they have to be worried as well, though. They hear the judges in play, potentially. Yeah.
They just decide to leap over the one-way. Nevera does still have both of his cyber cages that could be used to cross that safely, but they go for the more bold approach.
And now here it goes. Ooh, the satchel actually missing. He doesn't land up top like he was hoping for. Sokas going to be glued to the ground still with the judge in hand. Not enough to try and win that one still. Liquid. And they've got the rifles. It's enough.
And all of these moments where it feels like maybe XERXIA will get an opportunity here, maybe Liquid will make a mistake there. Their plays are so sharp today.
Yeah.
Yampi just swings around, deletes that. Nevera with the opener, making sure there's no chance for anybody to get value out of a judge.
And Liquid have felt like such a confidence-based team from time to time, where if things don't go their way, if the tournament doesn't start out right, it can be sometimes dire for them. I think that win yesterday has really got them on the right track, and it's a big proving ground for them because they've always won against crew historically.
True.
And yeah, yesterday was no exception to it, obviously. Just trying to get a couple of exits here. Not going to be happening.
Scream just warming up his aim.
But it's huge for Liquid. I think you can see they've already come into this one with a bit of a renewed mindset, you know.
Yeah.
Good ideas overall.
This is, of course, their map pick, too, and this is a full BO3 that could definitely get a lot messier from here, but Liquid are up quite nicely. One of the things, actually, that Liquid have been amazing at is being able to convert their ult into round wins. Actually, scratch that point. Look at the setup here in B main from XERXIA. Wow. This looks... Oh, sorry. We're taking a look at Yampi just dominating right now, but once we get back into the minimap...
Yeah, my man's staring right at the minimap.
Sorry,
you're getting so into the analytics.
I'm locked in because XERXIA have got some cute setups, right, on these rounds.
Yeah.
And here's another one of them. The fault line comes through, they've got the one-way, and they're actually fighting it here. And Nevera's fallen. So Fox, if he goes into sewers right now, might be able to get the spike. There's a player in spawn. This is getting really messy for Liquid.
It's gone a little bit all over the place, and XERXIA worked his way deep into B main. It's a great kill for him. With Yampy down, it's a big kind of setup, honestly, for Liquid's initiation's gone. Don't have access to the stuns and the aftershock. And they've had to slow it all the way down after losing those 2 players. I can't believe the aggression of Fox earlier in that round as well.
Yeah, he's got the read that Nevera's playing the same kind of setups on Cypher every time. And this time just abuses it. While everybody on Liquid is focused on that B main fight. And you can see here that the protocol for Liquid when they lose B main is to have Soulcast really quickly take ropes control. And it's an area of the map that XERXIA have not often had access to. And now Fox loops around behind. What is this timing?
What is this timing? Fox still alive, tries to reset the aim, but traded out. And it looks like it is the pivot though. Liquid want to try and hit onto B, but the players are still remaining. Cruise Flash is good. It's going to be that Omen ult. Scary wants to just try and rejoin the rest of his team into the back of the side, and this committal by Liquid, well, it's all gone wrong for them. Not even Scream capable of turning that one around. And it's on the board here for XERXIA.
And that's the aggression. That's the absence of fear to go for the wilder play. For Fox to decide to make this play. Whoa! I didn't realize that was how funky it got. Nearly whiffed that one while Nevera was just stuck in his camp. But the important takeaway there, I think, is not the aim, it's the decision-making.
Sure.
That he realized that Nevera was in an exploitable
the minerals
position.
to do it alone.
Exactly.
It's a bit mad, but listen, that's what we like about these teams.
Yampy's holding his op, looking for any wild peek in B main this time. Nevera with a very similar setup, actually, again. Fox breaks the cam as Surf walks down mid.
Oh, he's so close to getting that shot off. Has to back away for now. The spam from Liquid.
They've actually used that information that Surf is not posted up B main to walk Yampy onto the sight line, and it pays off. There goes Scary.
No way! Okay, jumping into Cruz, judge in hand. It's a gun secured if he wants it. Wants to try and hard clear this one, but Link is playing this quite intelligently. Yeah, he's right in the back corner, making sure that he can't be punished.
Meanwhile, Scream is just on the escort duty for Yampy's operator, which is now starting to take a walk into mid. Nice to have a flash to push the other opera off the angle. An underrated component of the breach.
Sure, yeah. Unconventional, but it works, I guess.
It really does. That is Liquid to a T, really, isn't it? Unconventional, but it works. At least...
Sometimes.
Oh, yeah, it works
yeah,
sometimes.
Sometimes.
But they're looking good here today, and they did yesterday as well. Here come the Seekers once more from XERXIA, grabbing them that information as you're about the 40-second mark.
The mid-round information, and with 2 of the Seekers going towards sewers, there's no help sewers in the chat. They know exactly what's going on because the ultimate's a pointing towards it. Still, Scream finds that opening for them. A lot of pressure on Cruz to come up big with it. Tries to reset the aim up there as well. 13 seconds remaining. Now the spike has to go down.
What a
Link
shot.
was holding it down in the mid-ropes area. Surf in the 1v3. With the operator in hand, it's way too expensive to risk.
And Brent, Surf has just not been able to get into this game.
Yeah.
He was amazing when they played against Optic. They couldn't push him off angles effectively. They couldn't punish him. He was running around with the operator just taking names. This map, he's been pushed out of position by utility, flashed off, counter-opt. There's been a lot of different things for Surf to navigate. And that's tough. A reminder that he is one of the youngest players at this event. One of the least experienced players in the tournament. And that's why XERXIA came in saying stuff like, he's a young gun, he's just going to learn and grow from these games. But he still went crazy in the game against Optic. And I think Liquid really seem like they've put a serious focus on maneuvering around his operator.
Oh yeah, discipline, trying to find out where he's operating. You can see the jump peaks as well.
Because this round, I mean, in a lot of the rounds, they have both found... Hey, I'll tell you what, that kill from Scream too, there were so many times when XERXIA got amazing kills through smoke with Vandals.
Yeah, just spam with the Vandals.
Exactly, and where you can counter spam.
Yeah.
And there's a demonstration by Scream as XERXIA take their time out. They're 3-6 down on the favored side of split. Not a great beginning for them.
Yeah, and what do you want to be seeing done with this as well? Because you're working with a ton of these flashes on this defensive setup. And for them, I think, obviously a lot of their plays revolving around enabling Surf as an individual, when Liquid have been so consistently spotting him out.
Yeah, honestly, Brent, I think back to the round that was going the best for them, and it was when Fox got that aggressive play out into A main. So I'd be tempted to go for a paranoia, a flash play, something like that into A main. Yeah, sure. Get rid of Surf's operator. Well, I mean, he's saved it into this round, so maybe this is a plan for the future. Or maybe you give it to somebody else, you know.
Yeah,
but my point being that aggression seems to be the name of the game here, because especially with Liquid playing with that operator, if you can get the paranoia onto Yampi, or if you can get the sky flashes onto it, and you can put a lot of pressure on Liquid, you're going to really change the tempo of this game up a lot.
But for now, they're kind of handcuffed to this operator. Surf obviously still holding on to this one. Might choose to, offload it onto a different player on his team.
And listen, honestly, Brent, he could just be playing solo with that at A ramp, and I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah.
Because Nevera has not been frequently aggressive on A ramp control. And so if you just post Surf up on A ramp, which it looks like they're going to do actually, then he's just going to get you good information for the entirety of the round, and your team can focus on actually suppressing B main and mid. And so I like this adaptation. I think this is the best they could come up with an operator.
Look at this fight that might be about to occur here. Yampi's holding down the op angle to make sure he has coverage for his team.
Turret to take contact here too.
Flash comes through. It's a counter flash as well. Pops right round the corner. An explosion of utility. Slow aftershock, everything exchanged, but no bullets.
What prescient IGLing from Yampi here. Every piece of his utility just seems to disrupt the XERXIA setups. This is not based on VOD analysis. There's no way that they specifically prepped against this coming out from XERXIA, but they're still finding intuitive breaking points to how XERXIA is setting up.
Again, that familiar setting on Split where these teams, they poke and prod initially, they wait it out. They cut a bit of noise, just trying to force the utility out. They don't get information off that flash.
All of these players, despite the fact that they're stacked up towards B, and that's the right read, are in a susceptible range for Yampi's ult. And like I said earlier, Liquid have been very good at translating ults into round wins. Let's see what they've got cooked up here.
And that was a bit of a deeper sky flash there from Fox, which did give them information that time. And they've got to have a feeling, with how deep Surf is pushed up in A main as well, that this is going to be the B hit coming through. And now, here we go, Rolling Thunder. Bit of a whiff though on the satchel. Sushi Boy's off in the corner. And there is the follow-up aftershock. The rest of his team just trying to support him up. And it's a quick little spray down. Fox taking out two of them, judging. And Cruz is trying to find that pixel angle, but with only 9 seconds left. Link in the 1v3 has to deal with Cruz. Not enough, just a quick little jump around the corner. And XERXIA, crucially, able to get that round now, bringing up to 4 in total for them. Still, if we look at this in the grand scheme of things, split attack side, 6 rounds have been gained so far by Liquid.
Yeah.
It's not bad at all.
But this is the value of... Look at the minimap and how pushed up the Jet is getting information for them. They just know it's not an A hit.
Absolutely.
So they can stack all of these players around here. And frankly, the final kill in that round as well, I've just got to say to Link, you live by the judge, you die by the judge. if you're going to, to take a quote from Jet, perhaps, if you use cringe weapons, then expect them to be cringed back to you. I'm paraphrasing, of course.
Yeah, of course.
I'm taking the spirit of what he said.
And again, that exchange of utility early on.
But this is aggression once more from XERXIA, actually. They're not just content with holding in B. They're actually using Surf's domination of the B main angle to push Cruz up aggressively with the judge. And now if they want, they could actually move Surf away and start exploring him through B heaven or mid.
They did this in prior rounds with Scary holding the slight off angle.
Yeah. Cruz has the judge now.
Exactly, and he's much closer, so it is a death trap if they went that way, but it doesn't look like Liquid. Instead, they are heavily grouped up. Clear out this utility. They still have just under a minute left to work with in this round, and this slow, cautious play by Liquid is paying dividends for them.
Fox just sent his flash over towards A ramp, didn't hear anything, but he does know that... Yeah, here we go, that the cam has been set up. So now with the cam being broken, maybe they have a better idea that Nevera's not around here. And once again, it's going to be a B split. B main,
critical, man.
So many of these rounds have come down to the B main fights.
Cruz at the judge, I mean, so much pressure on him right now, just trying to jiggle peek around the corner, but how do you even play around that? Up close and personal, Scream though takes matters into his own hands. He takes off Surf's head. Slow or close. He's favored in this duel, yet Cruz, he wins it out. Soulcast forced to try and re-clear through this one, but it's a bit of a phantom moment as he just leaves him on 10 health. Still the trade is there, but Link, not enough time. Whittled down, he just needs to try and save this weaponry and get the hell out of there.
And what an adaptation from XERXIA. These last 2 rounds have been all about them finding the information on where Team Liquid are going to end and having map control with which to fight them. These B hits have just been destroyed. And don't get me wrong, this is still an amazing attack half for Liquid. I think this is still going to look strong heading into the second. But it's not dominant. They had an opportunity to really try and set a scoreline that couldn't be adjusted.
I know that Cruz has got his normal precise crosshair for the judge. Like he's overridden the judge crosshair with his normal one. Very precise.
2 Guardians brought in here by Liquid. And Surf once more with the operator. Going to be playing around a smoke that's in mid right now. They have great ults to retake. Both of these players in B heaven, Sushi Boys, Cruz, have some fantastic ults.
Well, flash comes through that gives them information, but now the hit from Liquid. Final round of the half for them. They want to try and turn it into a unique fashion, but this one still Fox is anchoring it. And he's just going to be weaving in and out behind this map. The flash is good, and now the rolling thunder to try and punish it. Cleaves its way across the site, and Scary with the swing. That's 4 kills in the round. What a way to cap things off in the first half here of Split.
Switching sides.
Amazing play. I mean, XERXIA just making all the adjustments, looking phenomenal. Fast retake. Scary coming in and getting the kills at the end too. This team is looking good. I was worried for them at the beginning with how good Team Liquid's attack half was, but XERXIA overall responded nicely.
Absolutely, yeah. And we're going to take a short little break as well as the desk break down what we've witnessed thus far.
Thank you very much, guys. We've had 2-0s all round so far in this tournament. I feel like this might be the first one, Jess, that goes the distance.
Yeah, especially with how the scoreline sort of ended there. I mean, it looked like Team Liquid were taking off, and I was like, wow, what a good attacking side from them.
Yep.
This is looking nice, and nice sort of statistical anomaly. That's a mouthful there, but it goes to show that since, I think, January the 1st, I had in my stats, they had won 36 attacking rounds, lost 36 attacking rounds. What do they do here? Win 6 attacking rounds, lose 6 attacking rounds. It's almost like they can't break it.
And we're taking a look here at Scream, and there is a problem. When you give Scream space, even though he's playing on the Sage, we've heard him before. Oh, I love playing Sage because I can play Battle Sage because I love it. And the problem is, you give him that space, and even though he has Soulcast, he's going to go up in front. He doesn't care. He's just going to go for the kills. But XERXIA actually found, after that timeout, especially, the key that they don't have to give them all that space. Liquid fighting for mid, and they being like, okay, maybe with the util, maybe how do we push this? And they actually was just eating the space, making Liquid not feel comfortable and actually knowing where the round was going to end.
Yeah, Scream was looking great, but we also have to mention some of the individuals on the side of XERXIA, which is why Jess makes them such a formidable opponent, because again, so many of them have the ability to just turn things around.
I mean, we spoke about Scary, so we spoke about the rookie Surf. We've spoken about so many players on the roster. Something I want to highlight that maybe people are wondering why we're sort of seeing Team Liquid have a really good attacking half here against them on Split. Okay, is it a map diff? Who cares? No one cares. Compared to Optic, though, they are taking the space, Liquid, and they're not relinquishing it. That's the big point here, is that Optic didn't do that. They took the space, oh, we question ourselves, oh, do we rotate times out of our hands? XERXIA's not used to this. That's why it took them about half of that, half to sort of get into the groove and go, Team Liquid, they push the go button, they go, and now they're working back into that, and now it's the second half for them.
I really want to see, actually, the Sky, how it was working in defense, gave a lot of information. I feel like the KO might have been more disruptive, so I really want to see how that works in attack, because maybe that is giving Team Liquid an advantage, but of course, XERXIA has points.
Yeah, well, it's a 6-6 at the half. I can't wait to get back into the second half with Sideshow and Bren.
Thank you very much, Yinsu. 4 out of 5 of these players from XERXIA, they made the quarterfinals of Champions last year. And I think I know what Fox spent all of his prize money on.
I believe he had that keyboard ahead of time. I believe it was Fox who spent it. I mean, the guy's an enthusiast. What can you say?
It's got a lot of bright colors.
This looks like, okay. The slow orb sent in just to give them a bit of space here. Scream wants to get that wall down in mid. But it is broken initially.
It's very deep, though. And especially on a pistol round, that commits a lot of bullets time out of XERXIA for them to just...
And they have to use a flash there to clear close.
Yeah,
just in case there's a player around the corner.
Yeah, they just need to be worried about any aggression that's happened up there. They don't throw a smoke in either to try and fake like they've gone up mid to take some area of the map, but there is really no presence whatsoever in A heaven from Liquid. They are bunkered down on A.
It looks like... Yampi's in a situation where he could pop off the stun here off the contact of this cam, but the cam goes down, and there's the fault line to try and slow them down. Still, Surf dashes in. They need to deal with these players. They're right behind map, and they're anchoring it well, but not enough. XERXIA exploding into the side as well, taking complete control of that elbow. Now the spike's going to start to get down here. Plenty of time on the clock, right in the corner here for them. And I'm paying attention now, Josh, to these post-plant positions.
Yeah, they're looking fairly decent, but they don't have very much utility. They can certainly play off each other, but of course, with it being a pistol round, you don't buy full util. Soulcast, he's got his boombot there, sent in. The nade, you're right, Brent, could be used to clear elbow or to clear hell.
He can't get past him, man.
No.
He commits the nade anyway just to try and clear them out of hell, but that one way was excellency.
It's deadly.
And
so
now,
difficult.
Yeah, the players from Liquid are just desperation. Swinging from up top, it's Link left alone. It's a 1v3 for him. He has been popping off thus far in the tournament. He finds the one, locks down the second one. You've got to be joking, but initially now shut down. Woo, boys, I mean, getting a little bit sweaty. And even if Link won that one, I don't think it would have had enough time.
No, I don't think so, but, you know, it...
Get the confidence going.
Yeah, and it's certainly... I think the XERXIA guys got a little bit squeaky there, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
Overall, though, Brent, I have real questions about Liquid's retakes. It's been a clear weak point for me throughout 2022. Something they used to look really good at, but now they don't seem to have the same gusto behind them. I mean, even if you just look at their statistics, they have not been very good at it. They win under a quarter of their retakes when they play on defense. And they allow their opponents to get the spike down 2/3 of the time. So that is just straight up half of their defense rounds. They just lose by failing on retakes. So I've definitely got my eye on that. Of course, pistol round plays very differently. But I'd like to see Team Liquid play a little more to go for those fast retakes or try and put pressure on as the spike goes down in that kind of situation. This, though, should just be XERXIA taking an 8-6 lead, unless they run into the A stack, where they've got shorties aplenty. We'll see if they can sniff this out.
Well, I mean, respect was being shown early on here by XERXIA, just making sure that they obviously didn't stumble into this eco from Team Liquid, because again, these guys are deadly, especially Scream. He's got that Sheriff once more in hand, and the shorties up close. Cam spots it though. They are going to be running straight into this gamble stack of Team Liquid. Just Link, who's not really on the side, but they're using the aftershock just to at least push Navira down. The flashes are excellent. Once more, pushing around the corner, bit of run and gun occurring. And they are getting a decent amount of value out of it. The kills flooding in right now for Team Liquid. Link rejoining them, and they've got a nasty crossfire set up here. The question is for XERXIA, do they want to continue to just run into this one with 20 seconds left? They have to make a decision. They are pivoting straight into B, but Team Liquid just trying to get one step ahead.
Link does not have any stars to be able to put down to deny this. Just recalled his final one, but he's in position. He's got the Sheriff.
Sheriff in hand. He needs to find at least one of them. Still 6 seconds remaining. The plan, it has to be stuck. It's going to isolate the 1v1 for them. Scream, desperately searching for the head. It's going to be that double swing, but the stun comes a little bit late. Despite that, it's a 1v2. Scream up top. He is low. Only one shot will do it! That is disgusting.
That's why he's got the reputation for it. Oh, that is a bit of a backbreaker for XERXIA too. We posed the question earlier on whether they could sniff it out, but Liquid didn't give them any indication. It was silent all across the map, like a grave, and then they just lowered XERXIA down into it.
My God.
It was, yeah, some great shots. I mean, I want to give particular credit to Yampy there, I think, as well. We'll take a look at this replay. Look at Yampy's POV. He gets inside the jet smoke, kills Surf, and then makes out like a thief in the night with the Spectre. He's like, aha,
that was so
you.
fast. That was so fast in terms of big number. What a shot from Scream to finish it up.
I love you guys. I love you. Nice happy. You're good, guy. You're good.
But I love to see it going. Hey, honestly, right? There's been a lot of talk about Liquid, you know, having nothing to lose. It's a free roll tournament. These guys must have been having it rough when they got eliminated, when there's such high expectations, and they did well at the end of last year.
Yeah.
They didn't have a good run in EMEA. So if they have any level of success in this tournament, it's going to fire them up to find the good things about their roster, to believe in their players that they have on the squad and realize that success is possible despite their bad beginning.
It's a new lifeline for them.
If
Coach Sliggy was talking about making changes in terms of the IGLing, them trying to at least settle in that that capacity with their roster, but obviously now they had to put all of that on pause to play out this tournament, and it seems like they are enjoying themselves. Xerxia going to get a bit of free ground here into the B side, but not for much longer. This looks like a quick retake. Scream is already deep, playing inside the smoke. He has the judge in hand. Look at the wrist. Link able to cover for the rest of his team. Jumping around the corner. And not enough for them. They do get a plant down, a bit of money in the back pocket, but outside of that, a clean round for Liquid.
And this has now put them into a fantastic position. If you think about expectations after Xerxia win the pistol round, you're thinking, all right, it's going to be 8-6. Now it's 8-7 the other way around. With Liquid in the lead on the favored side of Split, with ults to play with. It's something that happens when you win the bonus and you win, these funky rounds as well. You're able to get into a good economical position and a good ult economy position too. They have ults to be able to contend with Xerxia here and make this the round 16 bonus, essentially. Pretty expensive. Yampi's able to even afford an operator, and if he loses it, it really doesn't make too much difference. He can still buy again.
Yeah, he's still got a pocket change.
I do think, though, I think the Breach gives up more upping on defense, weirdly enough. Because I think you're going to want to use your flashes a lot of the time to...
support your team.
Yeah, to support your team or go aggressive somewhere else, but... Yampi's really going to be playing for himself here. You'll see him do stuff like if he gets pushed off this angle, he'll flash and take another peek, using the flash to try and set himself back up on the line.
Xerxia going to show the discipline? Not quite. It's a slight jiggle peek. Not enough to try and spot that the operator was in play, and Yampi is rewarded with the kill.
He's a very consistent opper as well.
Oh yeah, super consistent. Any opportunity for Liquid to get the operators in the hands of some of their players as well. Might even see the double operator play a little bit later, maybe. It depends how much they keep that bankroll moving.
One thing that's not consistent, though, is the roles that they end up playing. So these players have certainly spread themselves thin in recent times. But their composition, and Xerxia's honestly, are kind of more back to basics, back to old stuff that they remember how to play, or stuff that they've taken from other maps. Here we see Xerxia taking B main control. This looks like a pop.
Yeah,
okay. They've got their lockdown. They have the rolling thunder as well.
They're not even going to wait for the lockdown. Of course, there's only 20 seconds remaining. Someone's got to deal with Scream, and finally the trade comes through. Lockdown still active, and space has been gained for them, but the Liquid want to try and go for the fast retake. Yampi's holding on to his own ult. Ready in hand, ready and waiting. The rolling thunder rips across. Fox is in the spawn, but he's a little bit clueless. He still gets it. He's stunned up. The flash, it's going to be the miss, but Navira luckily able to get that one still. The spike will go down. Only 2 players left standing for them. And Xerxia, what everybody lost crews. It's all up to Scary in the backside, and he's alone. The 1v3 scenario, the Cosmic Divide fading. It's not ideal. Yampi, he already knew.
He just predicts exactly where Scary's going to be playing from and takes him out instantly. Good response from Liquid. I said I had questions about the retakes, but they've now pulled off a couple in a row that look really clean. Yeah. They're getting there with a lot of pace. They're in, they're using utility well, covering for each other, and they're doing it with an AWP as well.
Absolutely. You could see the idea in Xerxia's head as well, where Fox was trying to flash into their spawn to disrupt the fast retake of the rolling thunder. They wanted to essentially throw a wrench into their plans, not let them set up like this, but it was just a little bit off in terms of that coordination.
I mean, there was still a bit of chaos happening, wasn't there?
Of course.
Fox full blind and a couple of people, and some weirdness, certainly. Xerxia, they've forced up a Vandal here on Fox, but the rest of their players are half buying. They've taken early B main control here. Scream's wall just uncontested in mid.
Yeah, no one going to be breaking this one down. Obviously, Fox doesn't want to spam it in case there's a player holding on top.
Yeah, it's normally only safe to do that at the pro level when there's a couple of players with you, or at least
just so that they can cover that one angle.
The Screamer has been boosting himself up a lot, and he's the kind of Sage that really does enjoy taking fights, right? There's some Sages that you just know they're not going to be playing on top of their wall.
You know, he's playing for himself with the walls.
Yeah, he sometimes is, yeah. And he mixes it in enough that you get scared.
Deep dog for information. You can see Scream just wanted to spam that one out, so nothing was revealed of their setup. Still got away with it. He's just wide swinging that. I mean, confidence. The man playing like he's online right now. Not online, but you know what I mean.
He just exudes it, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's not afraid to take the fights, and I think that's so important playing against Xerxia. They
trip
pivot up and away, and then the trip catches Sushi Boys, sets up Yampi for the easiest kill of his life.
You don't anticipate the back-to-back trips.
And Yampi with the shorty again, just playing inside the smoke, expecting somebody, but Scream was not.
There's a bit of chaos maybe injected into this round here. Yeah, Scream was unaware that they had already worked their way up into heaven.
Okay, Scary goes for the wild play.
Okay.
From the shadows, just straight into the attacker's spawn.
Bit of run and gun cruise. Okay, I mean, that is cheeky. Putting the Spectre to work now, and it is left up to him. The 1v2, he tries to swing out for it. He does bring down Soulcast, but not before the trade is once again there. And Link's a player who typically falls to the wayside in discussions about Team Liquid, but I think he's been having a fantastic tournament in terms of the value he's able to bring so far.
Yes, he completely is. If you look at Champions, he was the only player, in my opinion, that overperformed how he'd been doing online when it came to the LAN event. That was a situation where Liquid outpaced X10, this XERXIA roster.
Yeah.
They were able to take one step further into that playoffs, and part of that was Link. He's just rock solid for the team.
So just trying to hold these crossfires. I mean, it got a little bit chaotic in the moment there, obviously, with Scream not realizing that, yeah, Heaven control was lost to them.
But I think one of the problems here for XERXIA, and something they may be discussing in this timeout, they're running a double flash composition, right? They've got the Breach, they've got the Sky. I mean, you could call it triple with the Paranoia if you like. But this composition should thrive on chaining the flashes together, really putting Surf in a position to frag out and have him be the centerpiece of your comp. And they've instead taken a much slower pace to this map. It feels like they're cautiously taking areas, worried about where Liquid could be, and trying to methodically take map control. I would really like to see XERXIA, now that that plan isn't really working, to just send it. Just balls to the wall aggression. That's what I'm looking for from XERXIA after this timeout.
It's something that I was a bit critical of, actually, watching some of their VODs coming into this. Because Split is a map that, they're not as comfortable on in comparison. Obviously, Liquid have come into this with a lot of preparation. And still a best of 3, remember?
Couple of weeks of preparation.
Yeah, they've had a bit of time.
Just looking at the setup right now, you've got Cruz with the spike, looking like he wants to stun a ramp, as Team Liquid set themselves up for B main control. So a big fight happening around B main, but the spike, I mean, this isn't going to be an all-in push for XERXIA. They're battling for map control early on.
That's the important factor for them. Could see an explosive attempt. Those Astra Stars are scary to look at as well. As soon as the barriers go down, you just see them revealed. You're left wondering, oh god, how do we want to play into this one? You have to respect it as well. While this is going on though, Fox gets a bit of information. That's the cam going to be cleared. And that was being used, honestly, to spot out a lot of these hits ahead of time when XERXIA were leading towards that A side.
All of that B main control from Liquid was to set Yampy up on the angle with his operator, and that got broken in an instant by this smoke from Scary. Yampy doesn't feel confident being able to hold such a close angle with the op, so he moves back around to the default position. Once again, though, Brent, this wall in mid is not being broken, and it's just giving Liquid too much safety, too much security. XERXIA are going to explode here onto B. Can Yampy take one with him?
A lot of pressure on Yampy to try and deal with this one, because you can see it on a minimap. It's all lining up right now for the XERXIA initiation in a quick dash into the smoke, but luckily Yampy, well, he's holding the one side of it. Surf removed. The impetus of a lot of these pushes is gone from it now, and with the aftershock off to the side, will the swing be good enough? Still, they try and make it happen, but Team Liquid again with the crossfire. Soulcast from on high, and he shuts it down before it even gets started.
They ruined them in the choke. Amazing play from Yampy, though, too. He had 3 separate angles in that round with his operator. Started really pushed up in B main, falls back to default, then he falls back to CT. Look at him here, pathing around. He just knows what Surf is going to do. Remember, Yampy plays Jet himself. Yeah. And Yampy, hey, I've seen him a lot of times dashing in like that and dying to operators too. He knows what goes wrong for Jet players, and he can do it back to them.
Saw it happen yesterday. Except it actually went well.
It did occasionally.
He landed outside of his smoke, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, Liquid have got command and control of this map right now. And this wall has been such a problem, and something that XERXIA have not been dealing with. They're only doing it now on the eco round though, Brent, when it takes them 1,000 bullets from their pistols to even contend with.
And Scream is just willing to take the fight. I mean, this guy, the rifle in hand, the coverage is there as well from Soulcast. He's able to just spam so the Scream can escape. A bit of a getaway there, but a risky play nevertheless. I mean, you end up going down there to maybe a sheriff shot or something. You're handing them a weapon. Still, it showcases these guys are playing with immense amounts of confidence now.
I mean, even from the XERXIA side, they're walking through a slow wall, but immediately after breaking the wall. I'm talking about breaking the wall to deny information to Liquid, not to run down Scream on the other side of it.
Yeah.
But there's a little bit of patience here from XERXIA as they go for the re-clear, but Soulcast is too sharp with it. Better weapon as well, and Scream mops up the last. That's Liquid, they're on map point.
Yeah. Really setting the groundwork, I think, as well in that first half. With such a dominant attack side for Liquid, you can see it really paying off now in the second half. It's a Prime Gaming flawless for you as well.
Last player standing. Spike
Really
down.
clean play from Team Liquid here.
Yeah, it's been good. Their team play has taken a serious step up, I think. And that was one of the things I really wanted to see from Liquid, actually, is to take their comps back to more basic stuff and focus on the fundamentals, because I think that's when Liquid have looked at their best.
Sure.
Here we go, XERXIA looking like they're going for a much more of an all-in hit here on B. They're worried about the operator early on, decide to just walk into it, take the gamble, pays off. And here's a Rolling Thunder.
Seekers as well. Lynx has the star set up for it. It seems like it's a bit of a read for them. The slow warp is there. Surf dashes forwards into his own smokes, just trying to gain control of this site, but there's a showstopper in hand of Soulcast with the nade as well. It combos up with the slow, and Sushi Boys is no more, and this is the pivotal round. One more, and Liquid are going to be ahead in this series. Seeker's going to be used now about the minute mark, but the spike is nowhere near getting planted. They've only just started to attempt it. Soulcast still holding on, the showstopper, waiting for the rest of his team to get into position, and the coverage is there! Link just tucked into the corner, rocket across the map, Soulcast takes him out. And with that, Liquid going to be taking away map number 1 in this series.